Well, I got to town in this little dusty town of Pungai, 20,000 people, very early on introduced to what the war was about. I remember one of the first nights I was there in that town reading some magazine, and suddenly, and then you would hear the whine of the shell.
This will be one of the first times that I've, really been able to study one other country for an extended period of time, and besides actually living in another country. And I'd just really like to get a better idea of what Vietnam is.
I feel like we have a responsibility to understand other people.
Through that, I think a lot of us will get a better idea of what our own country is and what our home is and what our identity is.
I guess because of where I'm situated in time and where I'm at, yeah, there's a definite sense of responsibility, and it's not one of those I've got to go out and save the world kind of responsibilities, but it's more because we are so interdependent, and because I depend on you for my well-being. I need to know who you are and what you're going through and where you're at.
It was called ch.2 fire, that cannon fire at night, harassment and interdiction. And the Army captain, American captain that we talked to, explained that it's just to keep the enemy off balance, he said. Not that they were firing at any specific group of NLF soldiers, but maybe they were firing at a crossroads of a couple paths out there where they thought there might be somebody in the middle of the night.
My first impressions of Vietnam are, of course, I think of the Vietnam War.
Just something that Americans don't really want a whole lot to do with, because it's kind of a nasty part of our past that isn't exactly something to glorify. Even though a lot of people didn't want us to be in Vietnam, I don't really get the feel from history and from hearing people who are in the generation before me talk about it. It's not like, oh, well, we're sorry for Vietnam and we want to learn about it and apologize or see what happened wrong. It's just kind of, oh, let's forget about Vietnam, and okay, well, there was the Vietnam War. Let's move on.